We all know that Cooper Flagg is going to be a Maverick by the end of June, and we all know that he has the chance to change the fortune of the franchise going forward. But what does he need to work on in order to be on the Mount Rushmore of Mavericks players? That's what we're going to talk about here on today's show. Cooper Flagg's flaws. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Jeffrey Cooperstein. Appreciate all of you for tuning in to today's show. And if you're excited for Cooper Flagg to become a Dallas Maverick, I think barring an absolute miracle one way or the other, he is going to be a Maverick with the first overall pick. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready for some more Cooper Flagg content. All right, let's jump right in. The number one flaw I see in Cooper Flagg's game is his ball handling. And that's not to say that he's not a good ball handler, but it's definitely something that he needs to get better at if he wants to become a truly elite player in this league. I like what the Ringer had to say about Cooper Flagg's ball handling work. He said Flagg's handle is a work in progress, but not in a discouraging way. He's evolving by the minute in that sense, and has shown that he's quick from a standstill and has blossoming technique at the elbows or facing up out of a post up. Duke worked hard to create on and off ball opportunities for Flagg in an effort to keep defenses from packing the paint. And I do think that this is something that will come with time. Ball handling is something that can be taught and that can be improved upon just by repetition and practice all throughout the summer. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret here. The Mavericks have a guy on their coaching staff named God Shamgod. And if you don't know who God Shamgod is, he literally has a move named after him called the Shamgod. You should go look it up on YouTube. But God Shamgod is one of the best ball handlers that this earth has ever seen in the however billion-year history of Earth. God Shamgod is at the top of the list when it comes to ball handling. He's been on the Mavericks staff for almost 10 years now, and he has worked with countless of people on their handle. You talk about Kyrie Irving. He's known Kyrie he was friends with Kyrie's dad, so he's known Kyrie forever. He helped Luka drastically improve his handles. A few months in the lab with God Shamgod will get Cooper Flagg right, and I have full faith that he's going to become the ball handler that the Mavericks need him to become. Now, it may not happen in year one, but it certainly can happen over time, and I think that his work with Shamgod will certainly pay dividends. And it's not like Cooper Flagg was a bad ball handler in his time at Duke. You don't average 4 assists by being a bad ball handler, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, that's a passing stat. It is a passing stat, but you also have to have a decent handle in order to get yourself in positions to get those assists. So Flagg is someone who I think ideally becomes a true point forward when he hones in his ball handling skills and is able to feel comfortable bringing the ball up the court and initiating the offense. And that'll come with time as well, like when he learns all of the, ins and outs of the Mavericks offense, and when he is able to improve his handle to where he feels comfortable bringing the ball up the court against the pressure that wings and guards are going to show him throughout his career, then I think this will be a great fit for the Mavericks. But this is the number one thing I think Cooper Flagg needs to work on. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section, though. What do you think Cooper Flagg's ceiling is? Do you think he could be a Hall of Famer? Do you think an All-Star is his ceiling? Or is his ceiling going to be lower than that? Let me know down in the comment section what you think Cooper Flagg's ceiling is for the Dallas Mavericks. The late game execution also has to get better with Flagg. There are a couple of games that you can specifically point to that he just didn't do well enough. Number one was his first career game in college, and I know that's what we're talking about, his first career game, in November against Kentucky, where he had 2 turnovers in the final minute, and Duke ended up losing that game. So, there are things that he can improve on, I think, mentally in the clutch, that he just kind of needs to get over that hump. And then in the Final Four as well, he had a couple of key turnovers that I won't say cost Duke the game, but certainly didn't help them win the game. And if he can figure out that part of his game, and I think he will with the veterans on this roster, like Kyrie, like Anthony Davis, who have closed out games countless amounts of times and have seen every situation there is to be thrown at you on a basketball court in clutch situations, I think Flagg has the ability to become a stone cold killer. And if you ask anybody from his AAU coaches, from his high school coaches, from John Shire over at Duke, everyone thinks he has that ability to become a killer. And it's just about, getting reps and just learning on the job and getting in the situations where it's his turn to execute. And the good thing with the Mavericks is he won't have to be the main guy executing, because you will have Kyrie Irving, who's one of the best closers in this league, and they will have options with the closing lineup as Cooper Flagg out there. He's not going to have to be the primary ball handler. This is what I think their option 1 closing lineup is going to look like at the start of, or when Kyrie becomes healthy and this team is a full go. I think you'll have Kyrie at the 1, Clay at the 2, Flagg at the 3, Davis at the 4, and Lively at the 5. But they definitely have other options as well. If PJ Washington is on this roster, I would love to see this lineup out there to close games. With Flagg at the 3, PJ at the 4, and Anthony Davis at the 5. That gives you all the defensive versatility out there, and it allows Flagg to be that secondary ball handler next to Kyrie Irving. And if you know anything about Jason Kidd, he really loves to have multiple ball handlers on the court at all times. So if Flagg can get that part of his game up to speed, he can certainly do it. And then option 3, this is something that Kidd kind of talked about as well on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. He could see a scenario where Cooper Flagg is playing the 2, and this would be just a massive lineup with Flagg at the 2, Washington at the 3, AD at the 4, and Lively at the 5. I'd love to see a team try to attack that defense because I know Kyrie isn't the best defender in the world, but you have those 4 guys out on the court, it could get tough. But it does all depend on what happened with PJ Washington, whether the Mavericks decide to trade him for a point guard, and the reports are out there that the Mavericks are looking for a starting caliber point guard to play the first half of the season with this team, and Washington could certainly be dangled as one of those trade pieces. But if he stays, the Mavericks and Jason Kidd certainly have multiple options as far as a closing lineup goes, and I'll be excited to see how they use that, how they use PJ alongside Cooper Flagg, or whether one of those guys ends up sitting the bench. It'll be fascinating to see what the Mavs end up doing in that regard. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We have Mavs coverage all off season long, whether it's Cooper Flagg, whether it's the latest trade rumors, whether it's anything Jason Kidd or Nico Harrison or whoever said it, we will have it covered right here on the channel. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. Hit that sub button and turn on those notifications so you get notified as soon as we publish a video. This last thing is super nitpicky, and I know it's going to sound a little crazy, but he doesn't have an elite offensive trait. And I don't even know if you can call that a flaw. He's really good at everything. He's not great at anything. And I think one of the things that he can be truly great at in this league is I think if he can be a consistent three-point shooter, that would be fantastic. Now, he shot 38% in his lone year at Duke, which was the first year in his career. I know it's crazy saying in his career, but in his first season in major college basketball, he shot 38% from 3. So it's something that he needs to be consistent at in order to become the superstar we think he can in this league. If he can stay consistent with that shot and develop a truly great trait on the offensive end, nothing is stopping Cooper Flagg from being a superstar in the NBA. And I'm just so excited to see him in this Mavericks uniform, man. I can't wait for that to be officially announced less than a month from now, and we'll see what the Mavs want to do around him to fill out this roster. Grade Cooper Flagg as a prospect for me down in the comment section. Do it 2K style if you think he's the best player of all time. Type 100. If you think he stinks, go ahead and type 1 down in the comment section. But go ahead and grade Cooper Flagg as a prospect right now. That will be it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. On tomorrow's show, we have the latest on Kyrie Irving, and an NBA star said something absolutely ridiculous about Cooper Flagg. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/MavsTV, and we'll see you soon here on the channel.